Wow, ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Hypocritical Hop, the podcast featuring Dee-1. This is a special episode. I'm smiling from ear to ear. Why? Because I got the flowers. I got the Drink Champs flowers. I'm fresh off of recording my episode on the Drink Champs podcast. By the time y'all see this video drop, my podcast with them will be available on all platforms, on YouTube, on Revolt TV. The audio will be available, all that, right? But as of right now, it hasn't dropped yet, right? So this is a cool time because I'm still fresh off of that rush, that adrenaline of, man, I really did that. I made it to Drink Champs. Not because I had a label making a special call or a publicist calling in a favor and had to pay a whole bunch of money to, no, off of organic impact. You heard me? Bro, that stuff feels so good. I'm going to tell y'all a real true story. I had to call my boy today, who I went to college with. Shout out to my man Landon. And I was like, bro, I just had to call you, man, because a lot of people wouldn't take this statement the right way. But, man, I'm proud of myself, bro. I say because, dog, I just did Drink Champs. And you know that on Drink Champs, that's one of the most successful podcasts in hip-hop history. They say they only bring the legends on that show, right? Now, the definition of who's a legend, that's a whole nother topic, you heard me? Because some of the people that we call legends, it'd be like, you a legend at what? Like at poisoning our community, right? But that's a whole, I digress. But anyway, I just was like, bro, I had to call you, man, because it just clicked to me that I became everything I wanted to become without compromising. Elevation without compromise. That's the real flex. Man, that stuff feels amazing. And I want everybody to know that that's what we're striving for in life. I look at these flowers that they gave me on Drink Champs, and it's just symbolic of all of the nights of working hard, all of the prayers that were sent up to the Lord, all of the times where people said, you need to do a little more of this, give people what they want. Stop talking about God so much. Start cursing in your music. Do this, do that. Man, no. Record label not believing in me while I'm signed to them. People saying, nah, you ain't gonna make it past this level without us. Really? Y'all, I want everybody to know that there's no better feeling than knowing that you are using your God-given talents, right? You're using your slingshots. You're defeating the Goliaths in this world, and you are not having to do it on other people's terms. You are literally in consultation with God for how you can be a better servant by using the gifts he gave you. And he's like, bet, I got you. You use them gifts to give me glory, and I'm going to make sure that you elevate and be right where you need to be. And you're going to be there right on time, too. Like, this is something that I would have, Drink Champs podcast been around for over 10 years at this point. So 10 years ago, 2016, I was already like, yo, I done did a lot at this point. Like, I feel like I would want to be on Drink Champs now, right? So imagine 10 years in the making of something, and then, oh, shout out to Noriega. Shout out to Nori. Shout out to DJ EFN. Shout out to Hakeem Green. You heard me? Shout out to the whole staff, matter of fact. Because to realize that, no, it's my organic impact. It's my skill set that's been not diluted by any bad ulterior motives or anything, but simply wanting to just, be a man that could bless people and be a man that makes eternal impact. Knowing that that's what got me on that show, y'all, this a testimony. This a whole testimony. I can't sit here and be silent about this. So I haven't seen the episode yet. I was nervous before we filmed it, and I don't never get nervous before interviews. I could do an interview in my sleep. You heard me? Like, that's a big fact. But with Drink Champs, I was like, bro, like, it's because I want to say so much. It's so many stories of being a middle school teacher and getting off of work, driving 6.5 hours from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I taught at, to Atlanta to do open mic night, trying to meet the right person and get on and get somebody to manage me or get somebody to sign me. It's so many stories coming up in New Orleans of people being like, bro, Lil Wayne is the biggest rapper in the world right now. and you sitting here going against what he talking about. You got a song called J50 and Weezy where you calling him out. You challenging them brothers to do better with their platform. And you really think you finna make something of yourself? It's so many stories. Like I literally had to call my boy Landon and talk to him about this. And I was just like, bro, I became what I wanted to become. And I'm not done. That's the best part. And I'm still not done. And it's like, I gotta share this with everybody, man. I've gotten bolder as I've gotten older. You know what I'm saying? I kept going even when I had a chip on my shoulder. That chip, I made sure that I channeled that chip into something that was gonna keep me up at night. And it was gonna wake me up in the morning. And it was gonna remind me that I'm fighting on behalf of a perfect God. So I gotta go hard. Like Colossians 3:23 say, in everything you do, do it as though you serving God himself with that gift. You heard me? So that's how I've tried to approach this stuff. And I haven't been without hard times and trials and tribulations, but it felt so good to be on Drink Champs. And I look at this and I'm like, dang, this is fire. This is symbolic of a lot of hard work. It really is. So I want to talk to y'all about the episode, right? So the episode, I don't know if they're going to trim it down or if they're going to keep the whole episode. Y'all, we spoke on that podcast. And when y'all go see the episode, y'all got 2 jobs to do. Go watch the Drink Champs interview with me and Drink Champs, right? Go comment on it, go share it, all that stuff. But after you go comment on the actual episode, come back to this episode of Hypocritical Hop podcast and come comment on it. You heard me? And let me know what y'all thought about it. Because we talked for 3.5 hours on that episode. I don't know if they're going to keep the whole thing. I think they will keep the whole thing. I don't think they're going to censor it or chop it down, right? We talked for 3.5 hours. I cannot tell you what we talked about. Let me say that again. On my Drink Champs episode, we spoke for 3.5 hours, y'all. I don't know if they're going to keep the whole episode or if they're going to chop some of it out, right? But I don't even remember what we talked about because in my mind, I approached that like I was a dude doing an interview for the first time. It was all these emotions that I was feeling, and it's because I really lived this. I really lived this in first person. I really went through this stuff, man. I really had it to where it's like, if I make it, it's going to have to be an act of God because I'm going against the grain so much that it's pretty much going to be like, oh, ain't no way in the world logically that Dee-1 could make it. But when you think eternally and you think spiritually and you think divinely and divine coordination, divine timing, divine alignment, it's like, oh, if I made it, that means it was meant. It was meant by God, not by the devil. You feel me? The devil is so mad that I was on Drink Champs just now. The devil is like, wait, that's going to give other people hope. That's going to give other people hope that they ain't got to compromise and they can make it to the top of the top in their industry. Because Drink Champs ain't for no little boys. Drink Champs ain't for no little girls, you heard me? You got to be one of them ones in your field who has really done some extraordinary things, right? To make it to Drink Champs. So if that's going to encourage people, I ain't even drank on Drink Champs. That's how against the grain this whole mission is. Dee-1 made it to Drink Champs and didn't drink. And guess what? Not just me. I didn't drink on Drink Champs, but nobody drank on Drink Champs when I was there. It's like it became like, dang, this is really the thermostat as opposed to the thermometer type vibes. Dee-1 step up into space and everybody's like, we want to show respect to this brother. We know what he's on, so we finna be on that too. We ain't finna be drinking and smoking and all that on this show for this episode. Man, that's love, man. That's big respect. Shout out to Nori for that. Shout out to Hakeem Green for that, man. I don't take that lightly at all, yo. That's a testimony, though. Somebody gonna be able to watch that and be like, man, look, you can't tell me it ain't possible. I seen Dee-1 do it. I seen Dee-1 do it and give God glory the whole time. The devil mad. The devil cringing. You heard me? The devil sweating. Like, dang, how long they gonna talk to this man for? And we could have talked for, 10 more hours on there. That's how much I had to say. I promise you. Soon as it ended, I was like, man, we ain't talking about this. I ain't even get to talk about this. I forgot to bring this up. Y'all ain't asked me about this stuff. For real. That's because this journey has been real. This journey has been legendary. This journey has been epic. And everybody not going to appreciate that. Because some people like, man, I'm just finding out about you last week, homie. I just found out about you through a social media post or something like that. So they don't know. They can't go back and do all the research and be like, this man got 14 albums out. This man been touring since 2011. This man here done collabed with way more people than I even realized. This man done made all kind of real noise in this industry as the same version of him that he is now. But now somehow, some way, he done got bolder and colder as he done got older. Man, what you mean? Man, what you talking about? You hear me? Yeah, we done did all that. We did Unsigned Hype in the Source magazine. We done did Show and Prove with XXL magazine. We done did all these things, man. We done did all these things. The BET Cypher, being signed to a major record label. All that stuff. Going viral. Time and time again, all kind of press and media coverage, being on daytime TV and all this in the most organic ways. And I'm still sitting here like, yo, God, you just got me covered through people making threats, through people hating overtly, covertly, secretly, loudly. It ain't even matter. Because we made a covenant with God and we said we're going to rep that proudly. You heard me? Y'all. The Drink Champs episode, y'all gotta watch it. Y'all gotta watch it for me. Matter of fact, I wanna see y'all feedback on it before I even watch it. And trust and believe, I'm tweaking to watch that thing. You heard me? But I wanna see what y'all got to say. I wanna get y'all feedback on it. So, man, it's cool because since then, right, without putting out, it's just without me putting out people's business, just know that when I go places and when people see what's up with me, just know that after, it's definitely some follow-up after that. It's definitely some building going on. It's definitely some seeds that's been planted that people that's like, hey, I'm trying to see about that. I'm trying to, you got me curious. Like, what's him? Like, let's talk more. Just know that that's the case, man. Without me putting out me and other people's business. You heard me? But yeah. I know they got a couple moments on there where, like, with the interview, they got one moment on there where I know, and I'm gonna wait to see how it came out. Maybe I'm overthinking it in my head because I really can't remember the full interview. But they got one moment on there where I was like, dang, I ain't really mean to say that like that. And that might come across like a certain way that I didn't intend it towards somebody. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's gonna be the case. And if so, I'll just clear that up. You know what I mean? But it was like I had something that I was thinking in my head. My brain was moving way faster than my mouth was at times on there. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that. I remember just not. I don't remember too much. I ain't gonna lie. To say we talked for 3.5 hours, I just remember being like, dang, like this is really cool. And I hope that the people who have been around for my whole journey, I hope that they genuinely are proud. Because they know that I didn't want to make it. Like I prayed against making it. I prayed against making it if it was going to require me to compromise or to sell God out. I prayed against it. I'm telling you, you think I'm lying? Go on the streaming platforms. Go listen to my first project that I ever put on streaming platforms. The name of the project is I Am Who I Am. The first song, the first bars of that song. If I ain't post to rap God, please let me know. But if I'm supposed to rap, God, please let me blow. If I don't sell a lot of records, I ain't stressing. If I don't sell here, I'm going platinum in heaven. You hear me? That's documented. So this success right now feels great, and there's more to come. Y'all know we doing this. We got the Hypocritical Hop podcast out. Y'all see me on social media every day. But we got Hypocritical Hop podcast. Thank y'all for tuning into this. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you go watch that Drink Champs episode. And the shift is here. The Shift podcast is here. So by the time y'all see this, the first episode of the Shift podcast where I'm interviewing people, 100% interview-based podcast. The Shift podcast, y'all gotta check that out. You heard me? Like, it's an exciting time. I ain't gonna lie, it's an exciting time. And the Drink Champs episode is dropping perfect timing. Your 4th of July weekend, 2026, in my city, New Orleans. We got Essence Festival. You heard me? That's always a fun time. But it's also a time this year where I'm able to just, I'm definitely having one of those reflective moments of like, my grandpa always tell me, man, rest in peace to my grandpa. He always would tell me, make sure you slow down long enough to smell the roses. I guess these are roses. You know what? I never opened this, but they ain't got no smell. But metaphorically, I just smelled the roses. Nah, real talk, yo. It's good to reflect on your journey and to be proud of yourself. Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Hypocritical Hop Podcast. Shout out to my grandpa, man. It got me in my feelings right quick. Just thinking about Papa. Rest in heaven, you heard me? And he said, slow down long enough to stop and really smell the roses. And I want to thank Drink Champs for blessing me with these roses and giving me more motivation as I continue to move forward in this calling that God has on my life, that I'm utilizing through hip hop by being an artist, by being a speaker, at this point by being a podcaster, all of the above, just by being a man of God that's using hip hop to fight against evil, negativity, and hypocritical hop. Because hypocritical hop is hip hop's only enemy. It's his only op, you heard me? But we will prevail and we will win in this battle. Thank y'all so much. It's your boy Dee-1. I see y'all next time. Peace.